Hey guys, it's Kathy. How's everyone doing? We are going to make a great scrap buster today. Pumpkins! Oh my gosh, do you love these pumpkins or what? And then we're going to make a few pieces of ephemera just to show you some things that you can do with those. We're going to make some pumpkin leaves and it's going to be fun. Stick around. So I wanted to show you what happened with the little process here. So at the beginning of the week, I was like, I really want to make some pumpkins. I've got a lot of great scraps to use up, so I started sketching. I started sketching pumpkins, and basically a pumpkin is like a peeled tangerine. They're just all little sections, right? And I'm like, okay, do I want to paint a pumpkin? Do I want to, what kind of medium do I want to do this with, a pumpkin? Then I even took it apart and started making patterns. And I was like, I know what I can do. I don't have a die cut for a pumpkin. I can just cut up the sections and I can make a pattern for them. Well, that would have been a little bit laborious. And I finally decided, you know what? Dang it, let's keep things simple or we're not going to get anything done. So I took my scraps in a bunch of different colors and I started tearing them into crescent moon shapes. So let's show you what I did. It's very easy. You guys are going to love this. Take a piece of paper. If you want to start, you can kind of draw your ovoid pumpkin. I wanted to make a big one like this, so we're going to make one like that because I haven't made one like that yet. I really love the Cinderella pumpkins. Those are my favorite. So here's our pumpkins. That's all we're going to do. Get yourself a glue stick, rip a whole bunch of paper into crescent shapes. I did text. I actually took some old scrapbook paper and I used some spray stains and I sprayed some of my paper so that it would just have kind of a neat effect. And I put a little bit of this tarnished brass on there, a little bit of gold spray, and I don't know, I had fun with some sprays. So just to kind of jazz up used a lot of plaid just to jazz it up. I love those colors together, like the turquoise with the orange is so nice. And then what you do is you just sit down, have some fun, and I kind of work on more than one at a time because when you pick up a piece, if it doesn't work for that one, you can kind of plug it onto a different one. The only thing I would say, other than the crescent shapes, when you look at a pumpkin, the center one, let's turn it the right way, kind of has more of just like a circular, and it gives it a little bit of the center look. So I just got my crescents out in front of me and I started creating pumpkins. It goes very quick. The fun thing about it is, as you will see when we do the first one, is there's no stress because you're gonna cut it afterwards, and that's where you're gonna really hone in your pumpkin shape. You'll see what I mean in a minute. So I took some shapes like this, for instance. See how that isn't perfect? It doesn't matter because we're going to cut the whole perimeter of the pumpkin after it's glued. It's kind of like the more important thing is the inner parts than the outer. How is everyone? Oh, I have some good news. I don't think I've told you guys this, and this is very good news. I actually put in my letter of resignation. I'm finally retiring. Now see in the middle here, let's make this bottom a little bit rounder. So guys, I am excited. This actually will be my second retirement. I'm going to be totally honest with you guys. I wanted to retire at 62 and I did. And I did it all right, put in my letter of resignation. They even had a big retirement party for me. So my husband and I got it's like a shared health insurance type thing. And a month after I retired, my husband had like a fake heart attack. I'm not making a joke of it, but he had all the symptoms of a heart attack. And so we had to go through, boy, these pumpkins are all quite oval. I'm going to make a couple a little bit more round. So he had to have all of the testing, all of the things. And shared insurance is great, but you have to wait to get reimbursed. And it was just kind of a wake-up call for us that, I think once you're used to health insurance, I hate to say it, it's hard to just kind of go. I mean, we had insurance, but it was a much different concept. It was just a little scary to know that we could be responsible if it didn't meet the criteria for a lot of that large bill. So anyway, I'm like, I'll go back to work 20 hours a week. So I went back to work 20 hours a week, and 20 hours turned into 30 hours. And 30 hours turned into 40 hours, and Kathy was working again full time. But you know what? It's okay. It's okay. I put my schedule and my life in God's hands, and He leads and guides, and I'm very thankful for that. And it just wasn't time for me to retire yet. So I'm doing something different now in the hospital, and I love my job. But our dilemma is, and I know I've mentioned it before on the channel, is that our grandkids live about 6 hours away. And I just do not have enough time to get up and visit them. And plus, I want to do more with YouTube. This has been really exciting to think about the next chapter of my life, so I will keep you guys posted. I am pretty thrilled about whatever that might be, taking one day at a time. It's just something, right? When you think about when you've worked for that many years and you think like, wow, I'm really going to have free time. This is pretty remarkable. That's where I'm at right now. I spoke to Barbara from 49 Dragonflies at the retreat about her experience with having a trainer and getting into shape and the rigors of that. And that's going to be one of the things I'm going to do. As much as I have the desire to do that, at the end of a day, the last thing I want to do is go to the gym. And after speaking to a few people, they said, you know, it's tough, especially when you get to be older, to leave a job and go to the gym and just have that kind of stamina. And then, you know, come home and make YouTube videos. You can only do so much in a day and still be a good friend to your friends and be a good wife and all the things. You guys know what I'm talking about. So we'll see what the next chapter is for me, but I'm thrilled. But the exciting thing is, and I think that I can say this, is that we have put a contract down on a modest condominium up in the same town where our kids live. So we will be hopefully closing on that in November and doing part-time there and part-time here. There's lots happening, and I will certainly, when that happens, I'll be doing some video footage of that, because I have to say, if I had another life to live, I would have loved to gone into interior decorating. I love interior decorating, and I'm going to have fun doing this condo. We are going to do it on a budget, of course, and it's small, but I have some ideas. I certainly need an area to craft. It will not be luxurious, but it will be a space. It's 2 bedrooms, 1 bathroom. Now you can kind of see these coming together, right? Don't worry about the edges. Don't worry about how rough they look. Let's get some more ledgers and things like that in there. So I don't know if any of you saw Tim Holtz's 2-hour Saturday little tutorial. He talked about Christmas products from Ideology. It was an Ideology program going over all the Christmas products, but this could be my one and only video on fall stuff because I'm pretty motivated to dig in to my Christmas stuff. I don't think it's too early either. I have a couple of fun ideas to show if any of you do markets. I used to do marketplaces with bigger type items, but I actually I love doing markets, especially if you do it with a friend. It is super fun, and it's a lot of work, the setup, the staying, you know, the whole thing, but it's very rewarding, and it's really fun to kind of get a client base if you do it, you know, year after year. I'm actually going with some friends to a big, it's called Berryville at Luckett's. Luckett's is like a 100-year-old country store in Virginia, and they do a couple of sales, one in the fall and one in the spring down in Berryville, Virginia, and they're fantastic. I actually participated in it last year. It was pretty incredible. So I'm going to go in a few weeks here with some friends. A carload of us are going to pile in a car. It's almost a 2-hour drive, and we're going to go down to the Luckett's show. That should be a lot of fun. So we've got our pumpkins all glued down. And here's where the fun happens. Remember, let's go back to the picture because it's just kind of easier when you go to cut them. So when you go to cut these, remember the bottoms, the outer ones are a little shorter, the middle one's the lowest, and it just kind of, and then it dips down a little bit at the top. Okay? So just kind of remember that as you're cutting. So I just kind of chunked them out first. So what I did was just kind of started, come around the edge. So this one I want to kind of go in a little. And then I'm going to go in again and again. And that's going to be the bottom. So I'm going to go up a little. And each one is going to be a little bit higher. If you can see what I did. And then I'm going to come up. And the top is just going to have a little dip in it like that. And there it is. How fun is that? Oh my goodness. All right, so this would be the top and that would be the bottom. So let's start again. Do you guys love this? Come on. These are such a great way to use scraps. And I don't know, they're just like so organic and so fun. I just fell in love with this. I just kept fooling around and I was like, I'm going to get this. I want to do something fun with pumpkins that I've never done before. Oh my goodness, look at this one. Good Lord, Kathy. Oh, this was my long one. That didn't end up being long. Okay, I kind of see the orientation now. Yeah, I never did get my long pumpkin. I have to rip some new. Oh, this is interesting because the middle isn't really... This is a little wackadoodle. Sorry, guys. It's cute though, right? No, I think it's okay. I think once that's inked up, looks more like an apple. Do we want to do scorched timber or vintage photo? So yeah, once you get this on there, oh yeah. So guys, remember my flip journal on women on the move? Should be doing that next. Women on the move, right? What's the next chapter? Isn't it fun to think about? And I have a strong belief system and I pray and read my Bible, and I can just rest in the fact that you make plans, but really the end is in the Lord's hands. And that is such a great place to be in because we don't have to stress about it, right? There's so many beautiful promises in the Bible about that. And I just wanted to share that with you guys because it's a very exciting place when you come to that, like a new chapter in your life. Now, let's get some stems on here. So I took paper that was like, the greens, a little bit darker, and made them kind of like odd. Some of them are bent over. I made the bases kind of chunky. I don't know why I'm using these big scissors. Probably be easier if I had something a little smaller. Something like that. That type of shape. That might be nice on here. And then just when you glue them on, glue them not right up on the top, about a quarter of the way down. And then it just gives more depth to your pumpkin. So only put a little bit of glue like there, like that. So whatever you want for a stem, just pick what you like. Like let's do maybe like a taller, thinner one. Because when you go to a pumpkin patch to pick out pumpkins, they're all different. See, even if your pumpkin's wonky, a stem really kind of helps. But that's the first step in the process of what we're going to do today. We are going to make a little bit of ephemera. Before we do that, I just wanted to show you how I made these pumpkin leaves. I actually cheated a little bit because I had a die cut that had holly leaves. You see those on the back there with these pretty vines? And what I did was I cut out pumpkin leaves and just glued them on top and used the vine. So that's how I did that. But simply to do pumpkin leaf, you kind of make like a, I'm going to call it a rear end or a hiney. It's the best way to describe it. And give it a little notch, then give it another one and another notch. And then you're going to come up and like that. That's a pumpkin leaf. Okay, let's just do another one. It's very easy. 1, 2, notch, notch, rounded notch, rounded notch. And yeah, it just makes these really cute. And then I cut it on some, I think it's Elizabeth Craft Design scrapbook paper that had font on it, and I really liked the look of that. So I have everything pretty much cut and inked. So I just wanted to do a couple ways to use these pumpkins. I did make a pocket, stamped that with fall, and just kind of stamped the back of that coffee-dyed paper. And then I cut some tags, tag shapes. So let's just start on these. I have a couple pieces that are blank that I wanted to just give a very light stamp with some graphite ink. And I want to do this one as well. So let's just do both of these kind of, just to give it a little bit of light background. See how nice that is? And then we'll do this one. Great. Little bit of background. All right, so I thought, honestly, guys, this is going to be simple. And as I've said before, when you're working with nice elements, it really makes this so easy, you know. I do have this wonderful owl that I might sneak in here. I know it's not a pumpkin. Maybe he'll go on a bigger tag, but I just thought it would be fun to do a couple fallish type things. Now, I think these guys are going to need some smaller. I mean, I just think that's as cute as can be. And it might just be as simple as that. And I've got these different type of paper dolls from whichcraftdoyoudo.com, and they're a little bit different. I liked them, so I printed them out on a little bit of heavier cardstock, and I've fussy cut them and inked them, and I just thought they were fun. And I might put one of those on there. Let's see what she would look like with a little pumpkin. Oh, I do have a boy too that's sitting, but that's going to be for another one. Kind of cute, isn't it? Oh, I just love contrasting things. And then let's see if we have another pumpkin that's on a smaller size. Man, I should have made some small ones, right? We can go with this. I love it. Okay, I'm just going to do a voiceover for the rest of the ephemera. Oh, this is just fun, guys. Basically, just picking out some fun elements. I tied some twine around this and added that tag to it and thought that was a nice contrast. Yeah, these little paper dolls ended up being great for this project. They're small and they're a little different, and those are just adorable tags. So again, just putting the beautiful vines on there with those leaves and that cute little guy. I want to put a brad in this one. And I'm just gluing a tag over the brad, so if you put it in and out of a pocket, it doesn't tear. So I thought I would just do some faux stitching down the side of this with a little marker. I like doing that. It's just a nice touch. So I'm going to make a belly band here, and I'm just trying to figure out what I can put down here, and thought I'd use some of that gold splattered paper. Decided to make it sort of like a cluster for the background. So I'm just tearing up some elements. Now I'm going to have to make a journal to put all these fall things in. Oh boy, but it's going to be great to have this ephemera all set. So I found that ruler, which I thought went perfect. And I'm just going to use a little cotton cheesecloth. Give it a little bit of softness there. And get that all glued on. And I have this one little guy that's sitting, and I just thought that was perfect for that. Yep, that's a great little belly band. So you can see, I just wanted to do this with you to show you, how fun these were, and just to have a little fun doing crafts. And thought I'd bring you guys along. Just laying down a little base there for that pumpkin. A little piece of washi with some gold on it. I did put an old book page on the back of that, and I might put some gesso on there so you could write on there like a journal card. So I think I have this one and then one more after that. These three girls are so stoic. They're adorable, but they're like, that's the way they did it back then. They did not smile for portraits. And they're just cute as can be. And I just found that nice piece of brown lace that I thought I'd put through the top. My little tiny attacher. Trying to keep things simple. So this was fun. This is just a kind of a bigger journaling card. So I sewed the top piece, get that glued down, and I found that picture. I think that's one of Tracy Fox's Happy Kids. Anyway, I wanted to make a frame for it, so I'm just measuring it and decided I wanted to use some different contrasting colors for the frame. They're all about 1/2 inch wide, and I had a lot of moving pieces there. Then it occurred to me to just get a piece of paper and let's just glue the whole thing down on paper and use that as my base. And that's really the best way to do anything like this where you have all those kind of moving parts, is just make yourself a base and everything gets so much easier. I'm just going to overlap the edges, get it all glued, and then I'm going to sew around the outside. So there it is. So that'll be the focal point. Of course, these are my favorite colors, fall colors. I really enjoyed this project a lot. And I want to make a tab for the top. And when I went to glue it on, I realized the back was white and we can't have that. So I got a piece of coffee dyed paper, and we're just gonna simply glue that on and cut around it. Just an easy fix. And that'll be a nice big journaling card. There we go. Okay. All right, I have these guys, and I also have this small stock stickers. And since it's new, I might have some, because I've taken a lot of the other ones out. They were my favorites. But let me see what's in here. And I want to see the size. I think they're the same size as those, actually. Oh, there's some cute stuff in here, yeah. Oh my gosh, I think I have the best one. And now, I don't know black or white, though. That's a hard one. But there's one here that says, for these guys, you can never have too much happy. And I think that would be so cute there. So we're going to go with that. I'm not even going to worry about ink. This is very, very cute. You can never have too much happy. What else do we have? These two little gals are cute, aren't they? Oh my gosh. Find joy in the ordinary is also a fave of mine. I love that. Funny thing is, I almost want to put it by these girls because number one, they need to find a little joy, and I'm just going to put it right down here. I think that's great. Find joy in the ordinary, right? This one is very cute. It's cultivate kindness. And I think what I want to do here is just put it up the side like that. I love that. Just kind of like a little extra thing on the side of that tag. Okay, be you bravely. I think we're going to give that to our little guy over here. He's kind of like all by himself. It's going to go right there. That's cute. Yeah. Together is the best place to be for these two sweeties right here. I like that too. Two little best friends or two sisters. They're having fun. It looks like they're reading together or something, right? Get those down, and those aren't going anywhere. Okay, I think we're good. One more. This one, I did see one thing that was short, and it was very cute, and it was, oh, just because. How appropriate. And we're going to put that right here. Oh, how about him? Should he get something? And if he does, it should be black. Let me see. Remember the now. Make today count. He certainly looks like he's doing that. Plus, it's got a little ruler on there. I like this. All right, let's just take a peek at everything. Okay, so there we go. We made some beautiful pumpkins, and I think you guys will be able to recreate these, right? Let me know in the comments if you're going to make these pumpkins. They are super fun, super satisfying to get rid of some scraps and make these awesome pumpkins. You could use them on journal cards, tags, pockets, all kinds of fun places like I've just showed you. And you could put them on a greeting card, a bookmark, and do all kinds of great stuff with them. So I've even got more up there. I made a whole bunch of them because I was just having so much fun. I love you guys. Please, if you're not subscribed yet, subscribe to my channel and leave some comments. Let the YouTube algorithm know that I'm putting out some content that is meaningful and is helping you, and I would really appreciate it. Love you guys. Have a great weekend. Bye.